We haven't heard much from Donald Trump's former campaign manager Brad Parscale since he was demoted over the summer. But he found a way to get back in the news in a big way. His wife called the police on Sunday and said he had been threatening suicide at their Fort Lauderdale home. Parscale was willingly taken to a hospital by police who followed a Florida state law that allows authorities to detain people who they believe may be a danger to themselves. Officers made contact with the male, developed a rapport, and safely negotiated for him to exit the home, said Sergeant DeAnna Greenlaw. The male was detained without injury and transported to Broward Health Medical Center for a Baker Act. Tim Murtaugh, the Trump campaign communications director, issued a statement that said, "Brad Parscale is a member of our family, and we all love him. We are ready to support him and his family in any way possible." The 44-year-old Parscale had worked for Trump during the 2016 campaign. After the inauguration, Parscale was named campaign manager. He was close with the president's son-in-law and advisor, Jared Kushner, and is still said to be close to the Trump family. In July he was demoted after questions were raised about his spending, and a June rally in Tulsa made a bad showing for Trump with many empty seats, despite Parscale promising a big crowd. After being demoted, he continued to be in charge of some digital efforts. He had been seen in the Arlington, Virginia, campaign office in recent weeks. Greenlaw said the incident where he was taken into custody occurred after 4 p.m. on Sunday. Police arrived at Parscale's home after receiving a call about an armed male attempting suicide. It had been Candace Parscale, the former campaign manager's wife, who called. She told police when they arrived that her husband was armed, had access to multiple firearms inside the residence and was threatening to harm himself. He had been holed up in his home with 10 guns and was drunk when police arrived, according to the police report. Candace Parscale escaped the home after he cocked a gun and threatened to kill himself. The police report said her arms appeared bruised and that she admitted he had hit her days before. Parscale was eventually convinced to leave the home by an officer who knew him and Candace Parscale. He was tackled to the ground and handcuffed after he didn't obey orders to get on the ground, added the report. He has admitted to others that he was upset about being demoted by Trump and attacks on him from people who questioned his behavior as Trump's campaign manager. More recently, he'd spoken to officials, according to aides, and was still involved in the campaign. Unsurprisingly, Murtaugh blamed Trump's political foes. The disgusting, personal attacks from Democrats and disgruntled Renos have gone too far, and they should be ashamed of themselves for what they've done to this man and his family, said Murtaugh. It's unclear what Murtaugh is referring to. He offered no evidence that attacks by critics played a role in Sunday's events. The police did not provide a reason for Parscale's alleged suicide threat. Parscale at 6 feet 8 inches is hard to ignore, and he seemed to particularly enjoy the fame that came along with running Trump's campaign. Of course, everyone is going to point to him being demoted as the reason for his suicide attempt. The campaign that he built for more than 3 years not doing well could play into his emotions as well. At this point, the Trump campaign has to be asking what else could go wrong.